Yeah, everyone move over that way a bit.
Oh, come on, can't you move the camera? Rob's getting anxious because time is ticking.
This is a 40k bike trip that transitions into a 16k paddle. This trip begins in Squamish, where we head south to Granite Falls. The aim is to then switch over to a paddlecraft and then make our way to Deep Cove, North Vancouver. Now you may notice that the skies are grey. To be specific, they're actually a smoky grey. Previous to this trip, forest fires had enveloped a large portion of the west coast of North America. And although we had no fires our neck of the woods, smoke south of the border had made its way to us, creating quite dangerous levels of air pollution. Some people said we looked nervous before heading off, but we were full of beans and our attitude was on point.
Is this going to go great or not?
Oh, it'll be fantastic.
Best day ever.
Amazing. The air quality is fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect conditions.
Yeah, the views.
And with our A+ attitude and a giant cloud of smoke, this was our shit or get off the pot moment. Credit to the team, we got on the road. The dirt road. Now in case you're wondering how you'd pull this trip off, it's worth heading back to show you some of our logistics. Here's Mike D helping us preload a powered boat. The basic game plan is for Mike to meet us at the top of the Indian Arm with our watercraft and a supply drop at 3 p.m. Sensibly, we thought we also included a GPS device so Mike could check our location and adjust accordingly. Anyway, back to the fun, or part of the fun, if you like your climbs. The first 1,000-meter climb is a bit of a slog. For us, it was a sweaty 2-hour slog. So bring plenty of calories and hydration fluid. But once you've done this part and started your descent, the rest is great. Although it's not prime BC single track, it's still fun to ride down 35k, broken up by creeks. If you get bored, stop and check out some of the views. You could also go for an unintentional swim if that is your thing.
Look at that! Oh my god! Footnote, Rob was freezing his ass off after this dip. Three and a half hours after leaving Squamish, a couple more random stops and we arrive at the dock opposite the infamous Wigwam Inn. It's worth mentioning that we had no signal for almost the entire trip, and that meant our GPS was basically useless. While today wasn't exactly the best day to be sending out smoke signals to communicate our arrival, we were glad we went with the old school, hey, we'll meet you at 3 p.m. technique. Just one more small note on the area. It's usually a very picturesque one. I mention this in case great scenery is a motivator for you to do long distance paddling or biking in the area. At any rate, it's time for the water stint. Unfortunately, the remainder of the trip contained much of the same views. Grey, grey and grey, which made for some atmospheric shots, but it also left us with another reason to do this trip again. Pro tip, Pack beer in your care package and you can look as happy as Kelvin does in this shot. Rob drank his at the dock 1 hour earlier, and you can tell the effects of runoff, and he's realizing that he's doing a 16k on a prone board after 4 hours of riding. We did enjoy this part though, and if paddling is your thing, then on a clear day with fresh air, this will be an extra nice way to finish the day. And after a smoky 2.5 hour paddle, we arrived in Deep Cove. Kudos, by the way, to the prone lads. Rob apparently put his hand on a red jellyfish and his hand went numb. Another final kudos to our friends and families that met us at the finish line.
Well done, you guys!
Especially Tanya, who bought our favorite thing.
I've got cold beer right here. Yes! Yes!
Now, in summary, we recommend you try this route at least once. In previous years, it was a race going the opposite direction, but that sounds quite difficult. Maybe one day, but it's not in our plans. What is in our plans is we're thinking about doing this next year. And I guess that opens the question to anyone still watching at this part of the video. Do you want to join in 2021?